I don't care what background, what religion, what race you come from. You know, the diversity is our number one selling tool around the world. We have 110 nationalities here in Ontario, 200 languages being spoken. And
hey, shalom, shalom, brothers. This is Brother Howard of GMS Toronto, coming back with another one. This is the confusion of this place we live in. This is the confusion of the battle, right? It has metastasized ever since the time of Babylon, right? Or the Tower of Babel, I should say. Now, this is Genesis chapter 11, verse 1, and it says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech." So before the Tower of Babel, right, everyone spoke the same language, and that language was the Hebrew, was that Lashon Kodash. "And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said one to another, Go to, let us make brick, and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto the heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do. Go to, let us go down, and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." Right? That's why in today's modern day New World Order, because this was the first world order, right? Really, we can say that first world order was pre-flood, right? This was the first New World Order, or the second world order after the flood. This New World Order now, this modern New World Order, their language is symbolism, right? They use hand signs, right? They might put a hand over their eye, or they might put their finger over their lip, right? Or they might wear a certain color, right? That's the new language of this New World Order that brings all of them together, all under their Luciferian banner of worshiping Cush, Nimrod, and Semiramis, which goes all the way back to the Tower of Babel, right? Which is really the Father God, the Mother God, and their divine child, okay? It says, so the Lord, verse 7, Go to, let us go down there, confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Verse 8, so the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build the city, because that city that they were building was in wickedness. All right. Verse 9, therefore is the name of it called Babel, because the Lord did there confound the language of all the earth, and from thence did the Lord scatter them abroad upon the face of all the earth. Right? So does the Lord want us all together? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Because the majority of these heathens, right, the children of men, are all wicked. They're all pagans. They're all heathens, right? That's why he calls the children of Israel holy. That word holy just simply means separate. You children of Israel are just supposed to be separate from the ways of these other people. You're not supposed to mingle with them. You're not supposed to marry them. You're not supposed to have contracts with them, go in league with them. You're not supposed to follow their idols. You're not supposed to dress like them. You're not supposed to speak like them. You're not supposed to worship like them, right? You don't bow down to their different gods. You're supposed to be what? Separate.
And guess what? 99% of the people get along. There's wars going all around the world, but we still get along.
And that's a lie. That's all a figment of your imagination. People don't get along, man. People do not get along. People tolerate each other, right? One thing that you people in the West have, you had the image of economic stability. So people come here for a quote unquote better life. And these people are finding out that there's no good life here. And they're finding out that this place is corrupt as well. They left a corrupt place to come to another corrupt place. So no, you're wrong.
All this other nonsense that we've been seeing over numbers of months, enough is enough. I'm just had it up to here. And guess what?
Let's rewind.
I don't care what background, what religion, what race you come from. You know, the diversity is our number one selling tool around the world.
You heard what he said? It's a selling tool, right? And that tool of diversity is what's destroying you people. You people have become corporate whores, right? You have one people that say, oh, I only buy Samsung. Oh, I only buy iPhone. Oh, I only eat Burger King. No, I only eat McDonald's. Oh, I only wear Adidas. No, I only wear Nike. You people have become so broken that you don't even know who you truly are. That diversity is what's destroying us as a people because you don't know who you truly are. How could there be, how much did he say?
We have 110 nationalities here.
How could there be 110 nationalities when after the flood, only 4 men survived and 4 women? So out of 4 men, how do you get 110 nationalities from 4 men? That's impossible. That's impossible. You can't get 110 nationalities from 4 men. This is the list of the nations right here. Okay? You have Shem, Ham, and you have Japheth. Right? And they're the ones that populated the earth after the flood. Out of Shem, you have Yasharallah or Israel. You have the Caucasians, right? You have the Indian. You have the Assyrian or Assyria, Arabs, China, and Japan. So when the people who are in the land of Israel today says anti-Shemitic or anti-Semitic, I'm sorry, the word should be Shemitic. It's Shem. The man's name is Shem. And look at all the people that are Shemitic. Even the Arabs, the people who you fight against, right? That fake fight, because all of this is just a video game. None of this is real, right? It's real in the context of separation. They're just trying to divide people, right? Just like you people who are divided that say, oh, I only listen to hip hop. Oh, no, I only listen to rock and roll. Right? This is how they divide and conquer you people. Okay? So you have the Hamitic people, Ethiopia, Egypt. You have the Africans, the North Africans, the South Africans. Okay? You have Japhet, Turkey, Russia, the Greeks, the Germans, Spanish. Right? These are all of the people that come out of Japhet.
But my mom had told me that that I was mixed race, and she told me that my dad was an Iranian man. Okay. And so, I mean, at 7 years old, 6, 7, when you're in first grade, you're just kind of like, okay, I don't even know what that is. But a little bit older as I got, I did some research, to see what the Iranian people looked like. I was very fair-skinned. I felt like I didn't have like any certain features that looked like anything really. So I was like, okay, that's what my mama says I am. Right, that's what I am. My birth certificate still to this day says white. So, so that's what I went with. Yeah. It wasn't until I was 16 years old that my mom told me, I'll never forget it. I'm driving her. We're going on our way to my school. It was during the summer. And she was like, baby, I have to tell you something. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do you have to say? And she's like, your dad is really black. I said, he's really, huh? She's like, yeah, so you're actually mixed with black and white. And you look more and more like him every day. And so I can't lie to you anymore. Like, your dad's black. So I have a running joke now, like.
And this is the confusion of the world that we live in, man. Because people really believe that they can be mixed race or mixed seed. There's no such thing. You are who your father is. Right? And this is why I make a lot of videos about this, because this is one of the confusion for quote unquote mixed breed kids. Mixed breed kids go through a psychological warfare. When they're young, they're fine, right? They're just kids. But when they start to get older, they're going to go through that mental breakdown, because they don't know where to choose, like what side or who they are, right? They might have a mother that's Caucasian. They might have a father that's an Israelite. And when I say Israelite, I'm talking about you so-called blacks, Latinos, or Native Americans. And when you have a mother that's Caucasian, let's say you're raised with your Caucasian mother and they have certain practices. Well, you might grow up in that way. So when you are around those people who you actually are, they might shun you or look at you like you're not one of them, but you are, right? And then you might have a Caucasian person that grows up around you Israelites, and Israelites accept that person, but that person is a heathen, or that person is an Edomite. So this is the confusion of the world that we're living in today. Everybody is mixed up and everybody's jumbled up, and the Most High did not create the world to be like that. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter, what is this? Chapter 13, verse 15. And it says, and it reads, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. And the reason why you people in this society are living the way that you're living is because this metropolis, or this mother city, has created a melting pot to where they have destroyed culture. So now you people are growing up cultureless, and you don't know who you truly are. You have hyenas mixing with lions. You have snakes with sheeps. You have pigs chilling with doves, and so on and so forth, man. And so on and so forth. And it's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to have the sheep. You're supposed to have the pigs over there, the goats over there, the snakes over there. That's how it's supposed to be. Like the scripture says, all flesh consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly, right? So it's not supposed to be like that. You have the sinner mixing with the godly. You have the wolf with the lamb. That's not how the Most High intended it to be. What agreement is there between a hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? There's no peace. There could never be peace between us. because one is rich and one is poor. A hyena and a dog can't go into an agreement because they're different. Right? Verse 19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. That's exactly how it is. As the proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor the poor. So we're not supposed to be mixing and mingling. That's how people get lost, right? That's how people get confused. That's how people get swallowed up, destroyed. Not only mentally and spiritually and emotionally, but you can get destroyed physically as well, right? That's why you have a lot of murders, right? A lot of you black women, you're getting killed by Caucasian men because you don't know who you are. You don't know that's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So I have a running joke now, like so many things happen just in culture and everything. And I'll be like, yeah, that was before I was black.
Yeah, and you don't have a culture, right? And you're not black. See, that's a lie in itself. All right, we have to find out where your father is from, because there's different types of black, right? Because the majority of the world has pigmentation, right? Has melanin. The only people that are melanin deficient are you Caucasians, right? You Caucasians are melanin deficient. Right? That's why you look the way you look. That's why your blood shows forth through your skin. Okay? So we have to figure out what type of dark-skinned man your father is. He could be a dark-skinned man and he could be Hamitic. He could be a dark-skinned man and he could be Shemitic. But just because he's a dark-skinned man and he's Shemitic doesn't mean that he's an Israelite. It depends on where he's from, right? His lineage.
Before I was black.
That's
Yeah.
before I was black. I don't know anything about that.
Pre-black era. Now, that must have been a hard concept for you because you and I have talked before, and we've talked about, like, in-depth how
Hey, even this woman that's asking her the questions, she looks Hamitic, right? She looks more like a Somalian or, an Egyptian. I don't know. I'm just guessing, but just by her look, I would have to know who she is. But just looking off of her looks, right? She might claim, oh yeah, I'm black. But what type of black? Or quote unquote, what type of woman of color are you? Because not everyone is of the same lineage or of the same tribe.
family wasn't necessarily racist.
Yeah.
But they did believe in kind of racists staying to themselves.
Yes.
It's not like I hate you. It's like, oh, we're cool. But I'm not sure that white and black people should mix. And you heard
Well, that's what racist is, right? Or being racist just means that you're for your race. So if you're telling your children, oh, I don't think you should marry a so-called black man, you're letting them know that we are for our race. We want the betterment of our race. That's racist, right? To be racist is not a bad thing. To be racist just means that you want the best for your race. You want your race to be as strong as it can be, right? Now, it's different than being a bigot. A bigot is a whole different word.
your whole life growing up. So
Absolutely.
how did that affect you? Like, what were your thoughts in that moment that she told you were black?
I think in the moment, I was too stunned to speak or think. But in the coming months, now looking back at it, I believe I really went on like an identity crisis.
Exactly. Which is why I had to play this video, because that's exactly what it is, right? That's the tool that the premier Doug Ford was just talking about, right? Telling you, oh, there's 110 nationalities and it's a tool of ours, right? Because people go through identity crisis. They don't know who they are. They are lost, right? This woman might be an Israelite, but to be an Israelite comes with certain laws, statutes, and commandments. It comes with a dress code, comes with a language. It comes with conduct. It comes with dietary laws. There's things that you have to do if you are that. It's not just, oh, I'm black. What does that mean? Being black means what? You listen to rap music? You twerk? What does being black mean? You eat pork? Because you so-called black people love to eat chitlins. You love to eat pork. You eat pig feet. You eat all types of abominable shit. So what does being black mean? Being black comes with being with accepting ignorance. Why would I want to be black? Being black comes with being a slave. Your only claim to fame is being put into slavery by the Caucasian. Why would I want to be black when we're so much more than that? Right? But let's rewind what this young woman just said, because this is the key part of this lesson.
I was too stunned to speak or think. But in the coming months, I really, now looking back at it, I believe I really went on like an identity crisis.
And she's completely right. She's completely right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. And all these things is what we accept in this melting pot of the world that we live in. Right? Everybody marries everybody. Nationalities mixing, different people mixing with each other. Right? That's why he's saying, oh yeah, we have 110 different nationalities, and that's a tool that we use. Well, it's not supposed to be like that. Verse 4, here's the reason. For they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So you want to know why we're in the place that we're in? We're in the place that we're in because we're worshiping different gods and doing things that we shouldn't be doing. Right? Like this young lady just said, she went through a mental crisis. She spiraled out of control because she didn't know who the hell she was. That's the last thing you're supposed to do to a young person. A young person is supposed to grow up with a self of self. Grow up with a sense of self. I'm sorry. I did that yesterday too. You're supposed to grow up with a sense of self. Right? That's identity. Right? That's why when the scriptures was describing us in Ezekiel, it described us as dry bones. We lacked identity. We didn't know who we were. We didn't have on any clothes. We're naked. Right? That's why the scriptures also calls us, O worm Jacob. The reason why you are a worm is because you don't know yourself. You don't have no protection. Our protection is supposed to be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And we don't even have that. And we don't even have an identity. So we're even more exposed in this world. So mixing and mingling exposes us even more, because now we're going to be doing other cultural practices and claiming it to ourselves when that's not who we are. When that's not who we are. Right? Just like King Solomon. King Solomon's mother was not an Israelite, but guess what? He was raised to be an Israelite because his father was an Israelite.
What do you mean I'm this thing that I've been told that we don't intermingle with?
You see, you heard what she said? What do you mean I'm this thing that you told me we don't intermingle with? So these people don't understand. They'll talk shit, right? A lot of white women, all these women go through that. All throughout their lives, they'll hear, stay away from this type of man, stay away from this type of man, stay away from this type of man, which is really the Israelite man, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? And then the young woman will get intrigued and be like, I wonder why I shouldn't talk to this guy. Meet a young Israelite man, right? Especially you black men, and find out that you're amazing. You're amazing men, right? Lay with you, will create a child with you, and you young men don't know who you are, so you'll create a child with an Edomite woman, which is a white woman, or any type of woman, right? Who's a heathen. And then once you do that, let's say you're not in the child's life, the child is going to be growing up in a way that a Caucasian person would grow up, and that's a wickedness in the eyes of the Lord, because that child needs to be raised in the manner of an Israelite, in the manner of Yasharallah. He is a prince of God. Do you understand? This is not a joke. This is deadly serious, man. This is deadly, deadly serious. This is Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab. Right? So the Japanese, the Chinese, okay? And their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in the Jews' language, but according to the language of each people. Does that sound like today? Of course it does. And I contended with them and cursed them and smote certain of them and plucked off their hair and made them swear by Yahweh, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons for yourselves. Did not Solomon king of Israel sin by these things? No, how Solomon sinned was following their gods. Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of Yahweh, and Yahweh made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our power in marrying strange wives? Exactly. Right? Because nothing comes first other than serving Yahweh, Yahweh Shai. So if we're not serving Yahweh, then we're going off. And when you marry strange women, they're going to want you to do certain practices that are going to make your children go off. And that's going to bring judgment. And this is the wickedness of this society, man. Right? But with that, I'd like to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honors unto the elders and elder apostles of GMS that rule well and that teach well. And to the brothers on the four corners of the earth doing this work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom. Till next time. Kwame Asharallah.